is back with a beautiful view of the Samford campus. And welcome to the Montevallo Falcons against the Samford Bulldogs. It's women's college basketball. They'll take center court. And welcome into our broadcast tonight. Kurt Bloom along with Boyd Kaiser. Third member of our crew is Courtney Johnson. We all can't wait to bring you. It's game one of this basketball season. So we take a look at this matchup. It's kind of a regional matchup. Montevallo, a very short drive to come up and take on Samford. For the Falcons, well, they've got nothing to lose, Boyd. They're a D2 team. They've declared this an exhibition for them. But for Samford, they've got a lot on the line, a brand new era of Samford basketball.
It is, and the most exciting part for both teams is they get to play somebody else other than themselves. That's all they've been doing since the season ended last year. And we look at the Montevallo Falcons, and they're bringing back 12 players. They have a young team, but have 12 players returning and 94% of their offense from last year. And for Samford, like you said, it is a new era, a new style of play. They're going to play faster, and we saw that in the exhibition game they played where they scored 86 points.
For Montevallo, they do return their leading scorer and rebounder, and she's a pretty good player, Nautica Philpott.
Yeah, Nautica Philpott was their leading scorer and assist person last year. So Nautica scored 12 points a game and had 93 assists on the season. She also led them in steals last year, so Nautica will have the ball in her hands a lot during this game. And for the Samford Bulldogs, we're looking at Natalie Armstrong, who is the Bulldogs' leading returning scorer from last year at a little over 10 points a game. Also led the Bulldogs in rebounds at 6 rebounds a game.
Dogs and Falcons, and we take a look at our pre-conference rankings, or preseason rankings. In the Gulf South, you got Montevallo coming in at 9th. A lot of good teams at this level and in the area, by the way. And then we take a look at Samford and the Bulldogs. First-year coach Carly Kuntz, her team right now is picked seventh in the Southern Conference preseason coaches poll. The third member of our crew is Courtney Johnson, and with a look at tonight's coaching matchup, here is CJ. Courtney?
Thanks, Kurt. Montevallo head coach Gary Van Atta is in his 4th consecutive season with the Falcons. However, he previously had a head coaching stint there between 1989 and 1996. So he is very familiar with this university and their women's basketball program. For the home team making her Samford debut tonight is head coach Carly Coons. Prior to starting at Samford in April of this year, Coons was the head coach at Valdosta State, where she also played and was inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame in 2015. Both of these coaches are used to competing against each other, as Montevallo and Valdosta State are both in the Gulf South Conference. So tonight, Coons will get to begin a new era facing off against a familiar face. Guys?
Yeah, it was 17-plus years for Mike Morris. Mike is now a head coach in Northeast Alabama, up in the Huntsville area, and Carly Coons was the name that Martin Newton, the athletic director, kept hearing on and on and on about. This is the coach that you need to replace your legendary and moving on coach of Mike Morris.
You know, the Gulf South Conference tournament is actually played here in Samford's arena, so they've gotten to see her coach a little bit the last couple years anyway, so I think they kind of targeted her early in the process.
Yeah, what a great way to begin your recruiting. You just go to your own gym.
Yeah.
You know what, I'll meet you downstairs and we'll go see some of the potential coaches to replace.
And you know, for her, she was already a little familiar, at least with the arena, the facilities here, and what Samford's about.
I asked her for one word. There's the Samford bench. I said to Coach Coons before the game, you got one word to describe your feelings, and the word she came up with was hopeful.
Yeah.
Hopeful.
Start of a good new season for them. You know, Samford's got 8 seniors, so they have a lot of experience on this team that she can lean on. Now, she's going to be teaching them a little bit different way of playing, so we'll see.
The Falcons are in their purple and white, in Samford in the home whites. Charity Brown. It's Paige Sherripp on the wing.
We're going to see a lot of man-to-man defense today, hard-nosed defense for both teams.
Yeah, and I talked to Gary Van Atta with Montevallo. He said strictly man, and I think Carly Coons is going to do the same thing. She said you might see a disguise zone a little bit, but early on she will try to go man.
Yeah, I think her primary defense is man-to-man. And when you're starting a new season, a new place, there's so much to put in. You just can't put everything in at the beginning. So she may try a little bit of zone here and there, just see how they do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Of all the adjustments that you have to make, remember players that she did not recruit, she
Yep.
inherited.
Yep.
And to install all kinds of fancy defenses, the easiest thing to do is just to play a hard-nosed man-to-man.
So you got to get at least one offense in and one defense in first.
Kaya Sane got a touch from Montevallo. Turnover, and Samford with the ball. That Paige Sharp is pass, trying to get over the midcourt line, didn't get there.
Yeah, just a little pressure and got the turnover.
I think it's worthy, again, we'll have to say this a few times, Boyd. Montevallo, being a lower level school, has declared this an exhibition game. This will not count on their record. It certainly will count for Samford.
It did. Samford had an exhibition game earlier in the week against Oglethorpe, and they scored 86 in that game, so they got out and scored a lot.
Sarah Myers, the newcomer, unable to get control. Shot clock was winding down. Paige Ward, and now far side. Marissa Snodgrass with the basketball. A freshman from Hazel Green, Alabama. She was the 6A Player of the Year. That's a great recruit for Van Atta and the Falcons.
It is, and first game out, getting the start.
This is Myers on the rebound. Lead pass for Battle in traffic is fouled. Shantae Battle will head to the free throw line. Not quite 2 minutes in, we're still scoreless at the Hanna Center.
Well, you just saw that new tempo a little bit, pushing the ball up the floor, running the court and eyes up to get it down as fast as you can. The easiest shot in the game is get a layup before the defense can get set.
Shantae Battle is a junior. So the first points of the year belong to the junior from Mobile, Alabama. And she is perfect. Montevallo gets out in front, and an easy layup. That is Cheyenne Flack tying the game at 2 apiece.
They got Snodgrass out, making it hard. Little pressure on the ball, the full court for her.
Falcons doing a nice job on the boards early. One shot, no second shot for Samford. Good ball movement by Montevallo, and a three-point basket by Marissa Snodgrass, the freshman we talked about, 6A Player of the Year in the state of Alabama, a two-time state champ.
And again, just applying pressure, just a one-person press, just to make it harder on the ball handler.
Look at that home run shot again. With confidence. So Montevallo with an early three-point lead. A lot of Samford's offense will go on the success and go around the point guard, Charity Brown. She's been dinged up with knee issues for the last about year and a half, 2 years. When she's at full speed, great court vision. She can run the floor and play defense. That's Brown, far side. You see her go behind her back and then finds Syrup. Passes up a three.
Samford's got a size advantage inside if they can get it down there.
That's right. To this girl right here, Natalie Armstrong, cannot finish with the left. She's got about 3 to 4 inches at least on Aaliyah Rice, who's guarding Armstrong, but Natalie unable to finish at the rim.
Yeah, and you got her on the inside with the height advantage, and then the grad transfer in Myers also at the 4 that can pound it. She had a very good first game in their exhibition game for Samford.
Snodgrass feeds Flack. Snodgrass tries that three from the wing. Got the long rebound. A little help from one of her teammates.
And again, with the size advantage we're talking about, you know Samford needs to pound those boards and not let them get extra shots.
Shot clock at 5. Blocked by Armstrong, using that height advantage
Yeah, it's good block and ended up knocking it off of Rice also, so it's Samford's ball.
It's almost the perfect block.
Yep.
Not?
You know, a lot of time in games you'll see people throw the ball out in the stands, but, you know, that just goes back to the offensive team. You know, it's better to take it or knock it off them. May not make Sports Center, but it's better for the team.
Brown with a mid-range jump shot. Missed 9 games last year, did Charity. See how healthy she is this year. Shante Battle on the foul.
You know, one thing Coach Coons told me before, Samford has a lot of players. They're all going to see the floor and get some time. So I don't know if she's too worried about foul trouble at this point because she wants to see what she has from everybody anyway.
Montevallo has 16 girls lined up to play tonight.
Yeah,
Rice with the finish.
Early in the year, there's a lot of people trying to go out there and earn playing time.
D2 is a little bit different. Gary Van Atta told me 16 is allowed for this game because, again, it's declared an exhibition. When they get into their regular season next week, he'll ask to cut down to 15. So he's going to have in fact, he's got enough to make 3 different squads out there, 3 different line changes if he needs them.
Well, 16, and he's going to have to cut 1. I think everybody's going to want to get shots up today.
A couple of walk-ons, he said, have played well. Lydia Crozier, Raven Omar check in for Samford. Bulldogs go to the bench early. Ball will stay down this way with 5 minutes exactly remaining in the quarter. And this will be immediate timeout, our first of the season. 7-4, Montevallo over Samford.
What could 148,000 people possibly have in common? As different as each of the members of America's First are, they all like it when good things happen to them. Like when their savings earn a higher return than they can get with a bank, and when their loans and credit cards have lower rates. And they like taking care of business from wherever they are. Why not join us today? America's First Federal Credit Union.
As a firefighter, I've got to stay in shape. So I use My Blue Wellness. It's a benefit I have with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama.
Check it out.
When I first signed up, I found their free health quiz. And after I took it, I set some goals to help me get on the right track. Talk about holding your feet to the fire.
Glad you can make it.
Take a free health quiz and get started on your plan today at alabamablue.com/health quiz.
Looking to advance your career? Do it with a nationally recognized MBA from Samford University's Brock School of Business. Brock's program design is flexible for the working professional. It's customizable with concentrations in entrepreneurship, finance, and marketing. Think about it. In 2 short years, you can graduate with an MBA from the Brock School of Business, an AACSB accredited school at Samford University. Apply today.
Is the Works. Try a large Works or Meats pizza for just $12, only at Papa John's.
At Montevallo, student safety is our priority. That's why our stunning college campus is one of the safest in Alabama. We're a tight-knit community looking out for one another, and we'll keep a lookout for you on campus. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
We've come to this place from all over, and we've come for many different reasons. There are those who want to connect, and others who want to lead. There are some who want to create beautiful things, while others want to care for a hurting world. In the end, we are all here because this is a place where our passions find purpose. Samford University, for God, for learning, forever.
It's Montevallo out in front early, 7-4 over the Samford Bulldogs. And Montevallo's defense only allowing Samford to shoot 3 times.
Yeah, they've
so
only
far.
got 3 shots up to go along with 3 turnovers. Not quite the start that the Samford Bulldogs are wanting to have. They're going to try to get it going a little better.
Yeah, and I wonder if the players themselves are a little over anxious trying to impress their brand new coach, as playing time and minutes and everything is up for grabs.
Yeah,
Give Cheyenne Flack a 2-point basket.
You know, I mentioned it at the beginning. You know, it's the first kind of chance for both these teams to play other people's. Your adrenaline's going to be a little up, and Samford will have to calm down a little bit and make sure they get more shots up. You're not going to score if you don't get the shots up.
Raven Omar finding Crozier. Crozier's pass deflected by that Falcon defense.
Yeah, that'd be his 4th turnover for Samford.
Paige Ward out of Huntsville. One-on-one, Rice and Crozier. And now Snodgrass, she already has a home run, and she hits another 3-point shot.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, but inside out's the best 3 in the game because the shooter's so square to the goal, and they did a great job of feeding the post into Rice there and then kicking out to Snodgrass.
8-point lead for the Falcons. Well, that's going to be another turnover. This one charged to Syrup.
Yeah, the Falcons are D'ing up hard. Again, they have a young team, a lot of freshmen and sophomores on the team, but 12 players are back from last year's squad. So
well, where they're not new is at the head coaching position.
Yeah.
The guy who runs the entire program. In fact, as Courtney said during the opening, this is his 2nd stint, Van Atta. He's already in the Montevallo Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And so the players might be young, but the coach has been there, and he has diagrammed a few plays and watched some offense and defense for well over 20 years. And there's Carly Coons on the other side.
Well, one great part about coaches and good coaches, yeah, they bring back 12 players. They're kind of young, but right now the player that's doing the best for them is a true freshman.
Right. Yeah,
and that's one of the great parts about coaching, that recruiting side.
There's Van Atta. He's got his Montevallo purple on. Sane with a pair of free throws. Montevallo enjoying a very prolific first quarter with a 14-4 lead over Samford.
Well, they got a 10-point lead, and Nautica Philpott just checked in for the first time this game, who's their leading scorer for the Falcons last year.
See that press by the Falcons, and Samford having a lot of trouble with it.
The pressure is definitely bothering the Bulldogs right now.
Yeah, it was Hill. They got Hill on the foul.
Yeah, she got a little push there as both players were going after the ball.
Behind the back for Paige Ward. Keeps the ball alive. Rice. She'll try a wing 3. Oh, wow, a bank.
Just like she planned it.
Yeah. I don't know if she muttered that under her breath or not, but
it's one of those as a shooter. You just smile. It's like, I'll take it for sure.
You know, she hit 6 of them last year.
Well, I don't know if the Falcons could ask for a better start. Offense is good, shooting's good, defense has been great so far.
And now Myers is going to pick up an offensive foul. And it just keeps getting worse for Samford. And to answer your question, no, it could not have, the first quarter could not have gone any better for Montevallo, regardless of the last 2:38.
Yeah, they're playing very solid. And again, Samford's still stuck on, they only have 3 shots.
Wow.
3 shots, 7 turnovers.
And here's a turnover. Leads to a fast break, Raven Omar. Played extremely well in the exhibition game against Oglethorpe.
Well, Samford's going to turn up the heat now, too. I think, you know, the turnovers just kill you. You just don't get a chance to even score with a turnover. So they're going to put some pressure on. They've gotten a couple turnovers in a row. They just got to get more shots up. You know, they're shooting 50% from the field right now. They've only had 4 shots, though.
Right. Not nearly enough. See Montevallo leading 17-6. Approaching 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Now that's an unforced error. Hill thought she was fouled. It didn't appear from here. And that's again Nautica Philpott, who had gotten credit for the steal.
Yeah, got to be strong.
Philpott coming off the bench in today's opener.
Yeah, Samford missed the box out there, and two girls going for the ball and lost it to Brown.
Michaela Woolard will check in. Olivia Crozier will sit. Free throws coming up for Cheyenne Flack. 5 points in the game for Flack. She's from Brewer, Alabama, only a sophomore. One of two. Paige Serap for Samford. Omar a little bit too quick. Another turnover board as they continue to mount.
Definitely the story of the game right now. Just the inability to get shots up at this point. The Falcons that time were able to rotate Snodgrass off the ball and let Philpott take the point guard. Let her rest for a second on that full court press. And that pressure just keeps bothering the Bulldogs.
First quarter action, Montevallo nearly at 20. Meanwhile, Samford has not hit double digits yet.
Let's step up.
Got it again. Snodgrass with her third triple, if you will, of this first quarter.
And that one's just too easy. She just got to dribble straight into it and take the open shot.
Can Hill answer? The answer is yes. Montevallo trying to keep the pressure on. Falcons with an open look. Second chance for the Falcons.
Samford's being hurt on the offensive rebounds too. They've given up second chance shots and free throws off second chance a couple times now.
And boy, Samford's got a height advantage practically at every position. That's going to be really disappointing for Samford when they look at the first quarter stats amongst other things. Courtney Smith, the foul for the Falcons. 9 first quarter points for Marissa Snodgrass at 5'4", player of the year at a high level here in Alabama. Most likely the height scared away other universities and other schools in and around the area, but Gary Van Atta said, I've got a place for you.
You know, when you can shoot, it helps. And she's come out hot today. Got a nice stroke.
Well, not only that, this is her first college game ever, and she's showing a lot of confidence.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it's her first game.
No. The Falcons, regardless of what happens here, they're going to have the lead after the first quarter and quite possibly at least 10 points. That's an air ball. And with 12 seconds to go on the shot clock, Gary Van Atta on his bench not happy about that shot selection. There's Sam Fitzgerald for Samford.
Samford's got to handle the pressure.
And here is the pressure.
Protect the ball.
Samford with a 3-on-1, and Hill gets the basket.
That was much better there. If you can break the press and get out ahead, you have numbers then.
Long shot at the buzzer, and it will fall short. That will be the end of the first quarter, where the visiting Montevallo Falcons lead to the Samford Bulldogs. The score is 21-12. Our entire crew on ESPN will be back right after this timeout.
T-Mobile's newest, most powerful signal is here. Experience it with the amazing new iPhone 11. And right now, T-Mobile has the best deal on iPhone. Get 4 lines of unlimited with 4 iPhone 11s included for only $35 a line. All on a signal that goes farther than ever before. That's right. Get 4 unlimited lines and 4 iPhone 11s for $35 a line. Only at T-Mobile.
Montevallo out in front of Samford 21-12, and I would imagine the head coach for the Samford Bulldogs not very happy about that first quarter. Courtney Johnson, is that correct?
Yeah, Kurt, in the huddle, Kuhn stressed the importance of staying composed. She said in order to fight back, the Bulldogs have to find a way to stay out of trouble in the corners and push here at the beginning of the second quarter.
So here come the Falcons opening up the second quarter as they lead 21-12.
Yeah, if you just look at Samford's shooting percentages, wow, they shot 66% from the field, 50% from the three-point line. Just didn't get the number of shots up they needed to get with so many turnovers in the first quarter. 9 turnovers, and then they also gave up 3 offensive rebounds.
Nice shot. Good move, nice shot. Alyssa Williams, a sophomore. These two teams, by the way, did play last year. Samford won convincingly, 73-47. But we tell you again, it's an exhibition for the Falcons. Charity Brown wants the home run.
And it's two schools, only about 45 minutes apart. You know, these are players that in the offseason may play some pickup together and know each other a little bit.
Another three-pointer. And another Snodgrass home run. She has 12 points here in the half.
I think what I figured out in the first 10 minutes is better guard her.
Yeah.
She's got a great shot out there. Currently 4 for 5 from the three-point line, and the only one she missed was one she had to take at the end of the quarter from about 40 feet away.
Sarah Myers had a three-point shot that didn't go down. Now inside to Armstrong, and Armstrong with her first 2 points of the season.
Yeah, that was a great look inside, quick pass. Again, she's got such an advantage in there. She can just body him up, get her position, finish at the rim.
Armstrong led Samford in scoring and rebounding last year. Just over 10 points, right at 6 rebounds a game. Third team preseason all-conference. Each possession, Boyd, and each second that ticks off the clock and Montevallo hangs around, their confidence is going to build and build and build. I mean, this is a splendid, dreamlike start for Gary Van Atta and his Montevallo Falcons. We show the preseason conference, they were picked near the bottom. And they at least for...
Well, you know, their season last year wasn't amazing, but the great thing when you have a really young team and you bring some back, they're older. They're better. They've had another offseason of practice. You know, you add another great player like Snodgrass, and it can really improve your team makeup.
Raven Omar looked inside, but Montevallo got hands on it, and the Falcons will get possession. Under 8 minutes remaining in the half.
And right now on defense, to me, it's just active. They're all over the place. They're all over you on the ball. They're helping. They're reaching.
Saw Omar fight around the high pick. Shot clock winding down. Syrup with a steal, and that should lead to a wide open shot for Raven Omar, uncontested.
Yeah, that was better defense on Samford Garden for almost the whole shot clock before they got the turnover that led to an easy fast break layup. And now Samford's going to put some pressure on too with a 1-2-2 press.
Baseline jumper. Almost hit the top of the gym. Savannah Lee.
Had some good arch on that shot.
Using a lot of the peat. Omar running the court. Did they get her for travel, or was there a foul before the traveling violation?
Yeah,
looks like a foul.
Looks like they got a little reach. I think at this point, Samford would have declined the penalty and taken the layup.
Nice call, touche. 12-point lead Falcons. Less than 7 remaining in this quarter. Myers, the transfer from Maryland, got fouled by Courtney Smith.
Yeah, Coach Coons is really excited about her coming in. Thinks she can add a lot at 6 feet, but she can move and play outside and handle the ball a little bit too. She had 16 in the exhibition game.
Sarah's from Cumming, Georgia. She played 22 games last year with Maryland, but had a year to go. Just a little closer from Cumming, Georgia to Birmingham than
Probably be a little easier for family to come see her play that last year.
yeah, and Maryland is perennial top 10 program for NCAA. She was part of a lot of winning teams.
Tells you something about how she can move her feet at 6 feet too, that she is the point of that press right there. Long arms, harder to pass around.
Samford still down by 10, trying to get into single digits. Brown and Omar, really a game of catch, and then Omar sinks a three. Omar with 7.
Well, they've cut the lead down to 7 now. Again, still shooting very good percentage. They're just getting a few more shots up, protecting the ball a little better.
Would you agree, Boyd? This is a good test right now for Montevallo because the run is coming. You feel the momentum.
It definitely is.
Shot clock, 2, 1. It's going to go off. So when you need possession, you go defense up and get the ball back.
Yeah, coach is definitely going to like this quarter a lot better than the first one so far. Pressure's been more, you get that word I just used for the Falcons a little bit ago. The Bulldogs have been more active on defense the last couple of possessions down and making it really hard on Montevallo to be able to get a good shot off.
Charity Brown replaced by Katie Allen, who's pure score.
Coach Coons has definitely used a lot of players already in this game. Over 10 players have already been seen some action in the game.
Myers for 3. Armstrong back to Myers, who finishes.
That's a good unselfish play by Armstrong to give that up after the offensive rebound. Saw the cutter coming down the lane.
So Armstrong picks up an assist. Montevallo up by 5. You see some double teaming by Samford. Second chance and draws a foul, does Cheyenne Flack.
And again, that's something Samford can take some chances out there, trapping and seeing if the Falcons can make a good skip pass to get it in there because they have somebody like Armstrong that can protect the rim.
Flack has another one coming. Only 53% at the free throw line last year, so this is not her strength. Oh for 2, and it's not a bad looking shot.
Yeah, it's a nice looking shot. Maybe that'll come with time. The
Falcons by 5.
Falcons definitely could use it right there to help stop this run, though.
Omar with a turnover. Another turnover for the Falcons. Samford wanting to run. Omar to Myers, and then Myers with a double dribble.
Yeah, I thought she just kind of knocked down the pass on that first one. And that's what she's discussing with the officials.
Media timeout coming at 4:39. Second quarter. It's the Falcons by 5 when we return.
Are ants and other pests invading your home? Protect your home with Cook's Pest Control. Cook's uses a proven system that's guaranteed. They begin by controlling pests inside, then maintain a protective barrier outside to help prevent future entry. Regular outside treatments mean your life isn't interrupted by pests or scheduling hassles. Call Cook's. Nobody is more thorough, courteous, or on time.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
You care. You love. You provide. You shelter. You rebuild the broken places. And as you do, you meet needs. You build relationships. You share the gospel. That is the hope of Jesus Christ. That is Send Relief.
Promise ring at 16, not a smart investment, Romeo.
Sitting behind home plate is worth all the hype.
Birmingham is Region's hometown. And we're committed to helping everyone who lives here get where they want to go.
If you can't talk openly about money, you're not ready to move in together.
Switch for good, Birmingham. Regions has the people, tools, and tech to move you forward.
Montevallo Falcons led by 15 in the first quarter. Their lead has whittled down to 5, but they are in possession of the basketball.
Yeah, they definitely had a great start. You know, Samford brought some pressure here especially in the second quarter, making it a little harder with their three-quarter court press. And also, they've been guarding a long period of time. They've had one shot clock violation on the Falcons and another one where they got a steal with about 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
Well, they tell me the longer you play defense, the advantage goes to the offensive club.
They've definitely changed up a matchup there on defense, too. They got the 6-foot Myers guarding Snodgrass.
There's Katie Allen, and Allen will draw a foul. Montevallo wanted a carry. Yeah, here, speaking of free throws, here's the best that Samford has. Katie Allen shot a Boyd Kaiser-like number last year. She was 19 out of 20.
Sounds like they got to get her some more up.
Yeah,
get some more up in the air.
More to the free throw line. So she starts off this year 1 for 1, and no jinx here.
You know, she had a impressive performance in the exhibition game also. She was Samford's leading scorer with 17 points, but did it in 17 minutes.
When teams in the SoCon put the zone on Samford, that's where Allen's value will be, the zone buster.
Yeah, in that game she was 5 for 7 for the three-point line, so that's how she got those points so quick in just 17 minutes of play.
Before she hurt her knee, she was an outstanding scorer, and she tore her ACL. We're talking about Katie Allen, number 21 of Samford, and it slowed her down, as it would anybody. Free throws coming up for Cayenne Sane. 3 points in the game for Sane. Redshirt junior, Jackson, Tennessee is her home. Sometimes, and I was talking this over with Montevallo's head coach, Gary Van Atta, was telling me before the game that he believes that a knee injury for basketball could take as many as 2 years to recover. Not 1, but 2. Well, this is the second year for Allen.
You know, you get cleared, you can play, but do you trust it?
Absolutely, and you can see it in their face.
I was blessed when I was playing ball that I never had a serious injury in college. Now, when I was 30 playing church league and tore my ACL, it took me out for 3 or 4 years from church league basketball.
That church league will kill you every time.
It will. It's rough.
I keep telling you. 3:42 remaining in the quarter. Fitzgerald with free throws.
But for Allen, it definitely can slow you down on some of your cuts. Maybe you're aggressive the way you drive the goal. But what she can still do is that stroke, which is that shooting motion.
But I think you mentioned it. It's the confidence.
It is.
That, am I going to hurt this again? Can I take this contact? Can I take a charge? Do I have the same quickness? All these questions run through your mind.
Oh,
turnover, and Samford.
Unforced error there. Yep. But just a little bit of faux pressure can do that for you.
Samford down by 15 now, a chance to tie it up with a 3-ball.
You're talking about the trust in the knee. You know, it doesn't feel exactly the same afterwards. So that's what you really got to get used to, that it doesn't. A lot of contact on that one.
And Allen goes down, no foul. Syrup trying to tie the game up, unable. And a third chance for Samford. Now Allen underneath, and she'll bank this one home. Allen off the bench for 4 points. Montevallo's 15-point lead now down to 1.
Yeah, Samford's definitely gotten a lot more comfortable into this game. The extra energy that they were probably playing with early's gone away until I just said that, and then they overthrew the pass down the court.
Paige Syrup, too tall for Sarah Myers. Falcons with the ball and a 1-point lead.
Again, that's only the third turnover of this quarter. They came in with 9. They're up to 12 now. So, 30's not too bad, especially when you're trying to be aggressive and get down the court.
Allen now getting a rebound. So Katie Allen off the bench, both ends. Reaching foul on Snodgrass.
That'll be her second. She's going to have to be a little less aggressive if she does that full court press. But they're going to sit her now probably for the rest of the half and let Philpott take the point pressure.
12 points in the game already for the freshman Snodgrass.
Yeah, but she probably hadn't scored in the last 4 or 5 minutes. They've changed the pressure up on her, put a longer, taller player against her to have to shoot over.
Charity Brown now has 4 points. And Samford has fought back from a 15-point deficit. And Brown will give Samford their first lead since 2-0.
Well, I think the talk she gave them at the end of the quarter about keeping their composure, I think it worked. They've definitely changed this game.
All sports are games of adjustments.
Yep.
There'll be more adjustments at half.
Yeah, Falcons got to find a way to adjust to this new three-quarter court pressure and get good shots. They haven't had any good looks the last few minutes of this game.
Coach Coons. Now we mentioned earlier that her opposite number, Gary Van Atta, is in the Montevallo Hall of Fame. Carly Coons is in the Valdosta State Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we got 2 Hall of Famers in the building tonight. Took an extra step on that drive.
Carly Coons played there, then later would coach at her alma mater. That's Allen. And Tanisha Hill, her final year of college basketball underway. Redshirt senior.
It's been a tale of 2 quarters so far where the Bulldogs had 9 turnovers in the first.
That's money right there.
Right now the Falcons are sitting on 7 in the second.
Well, Allen did there, Boyd, what she did during the exhibition game. Just loads up and shoots from 3.
Yeah, she's already got 7 tonight.
Myers, boy, Myers plays taller than her 6-foot frame. Blocking foul on the Falcons, 1:32 remaining.
Yeah, she tried to sell the charge, but slid underneath it just a little bit. Again, Samford just looks like a different team right now than they did in the first. And, you see that ball go through the hoop a couple times. Gets everybody going better.
So Sarah Myers, who, as we mentioned, played 3 years at Maryland and finishes her college career here with her 5th point as a Samford Bulldog. 22 games with the Terps last year. And she now has 6. Allen and Omar each have 7 to lead the Bulldogs, but it's Marissa Snodgrass on the bench with 12 points for Montevallo, leading everybody. At the baseline, the turnaround is good. Jordan Jones.
Yeah, good shot. They really needed that one. They got to find a way to get more shots at the goal like that.
Not quite at a minute, but we're close to it remaining in the quarter. And then Courtney Johnson will have an interview with the home coach, Carly Coons. If I had to use one word to describe the change here, it would be active. Samford has been more active, both offensively and defensively.
For sure. I think it really starts on the defense end, though. You know, they got active on that three-quarter press. They made it hard. They got out on a few fast breaks. And ever since then, the half-court offenses look better, too.
Samford up by 6. Huge first quarter for Montevallo and a huge second quarter for Samford. Jones. And it's Fitzgerald with the rebound. Brown, a wide open Fitzgerald. Got the 3.
Again, they shot really good in the first quarter. They just didn't get enough shots up.
Myers had the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Jones. So Samford with 18.6 seconds, and the shot clock will be turned off.
Samford only had 12 in the first quarter. Already sitting on 29 in this quarter.
Montevallo ball, how about that? It's 17.7. And they're close to their basket. So another turnover reminiscent of that first quarter. $17.7. We'll see if Montevallo wants to milk the clock. Is this backcourt? No,
they can still get it. She didn't touch it before, so.
Ward. 10 to shoot. Back to Ward. Good pass. And the basket. Unselfish move by Ward. Courtney Smith with a basket, and that'll end the half. Samford, after a dreadful first quarter, comes back strong, and they take the lead into the locker room, 41-34. So the first half of a new era of basketball for Samford women after 17 years of Mike Morris, now shifting to Carly Kuntz. And our court reporter, Courtney Johnson, will have a word with the head coach. They get into position, and now they're ready. CJ?
Coach, you seem to get those first quarter jitters out. How did Katie Allen's performance in the second quarter make an impact on the game?
Yeah, I think not only her, but that second unit kind of just brought a different energy and matched their intensity. I think that they just played a little bit harder than we did in the first quarter, but luckily we were able to kind of settle into our offense and calm down a little bit, and hopefully we can carry that into the second half.
Thank you. Good luck.
All right, at the half, it's Samford 41, University of Montevallo 34. Our ESPN Plus broadcast continues right after this timeout.
Happy birthday, all caps, exclamation point, cake slice emoji, candle emoji, emoji with the heart eyes.
I get to be where it's all happening. I love that when I get to go to work, I get to walk past, the Supreme Court, the Capitol buildings, the House office buildings, the Senate office buildings. I just feel completely in the middle of it.
It pushes these students to,
dream bigger and reach higher than I think they would have if they hadn't done this program in the past.
It's hard to get an internship in DC independently. It's really, really difficult. So the fact that Samford has an avenue that makes it so much easier for students is amazing.
We've had students intern with the Department of Justice. We had students intern in the Supreme Court. We had students intern at small legal firms actually right up the street in our Uline Center. And so it really depends on what the student is interested in, what kind of environment they are, and they are guaranteed to get that personal, professionalized experience from their supervisors to their lead instructors, as well as their evening course instructors as well.
This is a huge jumping off point, I'd say, for me in my career and figuring out what it is that I want to do next and knowing that my goals aren't that far off. I've been meeting people who were in my shoes not that long ago, and now they're here doing what I want to do.
If you're feeling on the fence about something, or if you don't know what to do, or you don't know which career path to go in, I think that this program and also just working and living in DC in general is a great way to solidify your thoughts about the future.
The people that you meet through internships in DC are just so important to your career. I actually have a standing job opportunity because of my internship to work as a resettlement officer in Jordan. So really this opens up all kinds of doors from people that you never would have met otherwise.
It's a great addition to my resume, and I already have so many people who are willing to write me recommendations and so many doors that have been opened to me through networking and things. And I mean, my whole career path has changed being here, so.
I think it shows a lot of initiative, and the fact that you can live in a city taking professional development classes and sort of developing yourself professionally and personally, I think is really marketable.
It looks prestigious, and I think it looks competitive. You know, if I go on campus and I'm doing some recruiting, I'll say, well, you can always intern with a local bank, or you can actually, you know, intern at the Federal Reserve. And I think one carries a lot more weight because you're working with more stakeholders. There's local, federal, and state versus just the local level.
So life here is not your typical DC apartment. Students share a suite with other TWC interns. They have, in some cases, a nice balcony area. There's a gym, there's a student computer lab, and there is a dedicated student services team that is available to them 24 hours a day.
We live there, we go to school there. There's office space. Our lead instructors are either there or right here, which is like a 2-minute walk. So for me, it's been super convenient. You're working all day, you're tired, and you just walk downstairs to go to class.
Well, my roommate is from Italy, so that's been a really cool learning experience. And one of the people who lives across the hall from me is from England, so very culturally different. I'd never really used public transportation before coming here, and I ride the metro at least twice a day. It's a really cool way to experience the world and kind of mature a little bit, and I definitely feel like I have matured and grown up a little bit being here.
Students don't know until they try something, so the opportunity to try something brand new, test it out, and figure out, okay, this is for me or it's not for me, and have that transformation, it really is priceless. I think I'll look back on this experience and say, this was the point where I was like, I want to do this. It confirmed what I wanted to do. It made me more excited to do it. I know it'll be hard work, but it'll be worth it because I think agencies like the Department of Education and just other organizations in DC in general, I think they do really good work, and I would love to be a part of that.
For all of the heroes who serve us, T-Mobile is here to help serve them. That's why we're offering 50% off family lines for military, veterans, and first responders, so they can stay connected on our newest, most powerful signal ever. And now, we're also offering half off our top Samsung phones for military, veterans, and first responders. Our service is just one way we say thank you for theirs.
It's the college basketball opener. The women are underway. Seat presented by Hinkle Roofing, and Samford out in front of Montevallo, 41-34. Kurt Bloom along with my broadcast partner, Boyd Kaiser. Boyd, what do you see here with Montevallo shooting well early?
Well, you know, I think it really comes down to this game. It's about the defense first. You know, Montevallo was out really active, getting a lot of turnovers, leading to great shots for them, especially Snodgrass knocking down 4 threes early. So that built their lead for them. In the second quarter, it kind of changed around. Samford's energy on defense was better. Their composure on offense then afterwards was better. Shot great in the second half. Samford's bench especially came through for them. They had 24 points off the bench compared to 17 from the starters. So the bench really helped Samford out in that second quarter.
You know, one thing that while we were doing our stats at halftime that came to my mind, this game changed when Snodgrass picked up her second foul. We didn't talk about that enough, but think about that. When she took her second foul, 12 points, and her 12 points and her energy went on the bench.
I think it changed with that, and I also think it changed when Myers starting Gardner, made it harder for her to get a shot off having a 6-footer that can move her feet on her. So you see the stats, both teams shot well in the first half. 48% for the Falcons, over 60 for the Bulldogs. It just comes down to the volume of shots. It's those turnovers that killed both teams. Samford in the first quarter, and then the Falcons in the second quarter with those turnovers. They got to protect the ball and get shots up.
I saw a tremendous job at the free throw line by the Bulldogs in the first half as well. You don't want to look back at a game and go, well, we lost 5 points at the line, 10 points at the line. In this case, they're hitting their free throws. There's your score. Samford up by 7 over Montevallo. Two schools separated by 32 miles on the highway. We'll be back with more halftime activities. Third quarter coming up shortly.
T-Mobile's newest, most powerful signal is here. Experience it with the amazing new iPhone 11. And right now, T-Mobile has the best deal on iPhone. Get 4 lines of unlimited with 4 iPhone 11s included for only $35 a line. All on a signal that goes farther than ever before. That's right. Get 4 unlimited lines and 4 iPhone 11s for $35 a line. Only at T-Mobile.
Samford over Montevallo as we get ready for the third quarter. One day that little one there might be playing for Coach Carly Coons.
Early recruiting.
Early recruiting, right? First the camps. Get that lunchbox, T-shirt, skills, all that stuff. Did you go to, when you were, you played here, you played college basketball. You go to camps a lot when you were 7th, 8th, 9th grade?
Yeah, we definitely did a lot of camps, just to get out there and play ball. That's what it's all about, and basketball is one of the easiest sports. You can go out there and do that.
There's something very interesting. One of my favorite stories of all time. Mike Morris, the former head coach of Samford, he coached a young girl, very, very young girl at the time, by the name of Cassidy Williams in a father and daughter camp years and years ago. And then years later, Cassidy Williams was a 4-year player for Mike Morris. That one of my favorite stories here.
Yes.
This is Paige Ward for the home run off the rim. But that's the importance of camp. You see somebody early and get your eye on her. And I know, talking to the Williams family, they were so impressed with the camp and the coaching staff and the university that it made impression. And when it came time to choosing where she wanted to go, Cassidy Williams chose Samford.
Well, with all the recruiting rules that you have to go by and live by, that's one of those times when you come on campus for a camp, that's just a chance to build a relationship, because you can talk to them, you can work with them, you can show them your facilities. It's a great time to make an impression.
Natalie Armstrong has given Samford a 9-point advantage. Good ball movement, excellent pass.
Yeah. Great cut, great look.
You mentioned that word unselfish earlier. Montevallo, a nice job moving the ball around.
Montevallo's going to have to find a way to get Snodgrass some open shots again. She was so good with it early on, but she's having a hard time getting open now.
Well, there's no more secret. There she is, open for a 3. Wow. Still not done with her three-point shooting.
Yeah, it's a good skip pass to get it over to her in the corner. And Samford forgot about her for a half second, and she knocks down another one.
She has hit 5 home runs, 5 threes, 15 points. Second chance, Myers. Myers has the team lead with 10 points.
Yeah,
That Samford defense has gotten better.
She's got the most minutes so far on the Samford team, and I think it's because of how active she got leading that defense and then leading into offense in the second quarter.
Foul on Montevallo. Snodgrass picks up her third, Boyd, and again, I thought it was key in that first half. There she goes out again. She picked up her second foul after the 12 points. Now 3 fouls, and so the offensive stalwart for the Falcons has to sit.
Yeah, she's got 15 points on 5 shots. I mean, that is great.
Yeah, that's efficiency.
So again, you want that on the court. You want that on the court so you can keep it up.
You want her on that wall. You need her on that wall if you're Montevallo. Bounce pass, and Rice says, I'll finish.
That may be one of the things she's got to work on as a freshman, that she's got to stay on the court, so you don't want to get little chippies and things. And
one of those fouls was a reach in. The other one's not too sure, you know. Armstrong had a chance to bank it home.
Good shot. She had position, kept the ball high.
Rice against Armstrong. Serap's going to get called for the foul. She's got a lot of ball, but she also got some hand contact.
Yeah, Montevallo's cutting hard on those, so got to be ready to move those feet and swing that head through so you can see the ball. Again, Samford's going to play aggressive. I don't think they're as worried about fouls right now. They're pretty balanced scoring. They got a deep bench. So she wants the pressure.
That'll be reaching on Sane. Her first. Samford in front by 6. They trailed by 15 points in the first quarter, did the Bulldogs. No matter who you're playing, if you're Samford, Division 1, 2, 3, big school, small school, one thing, Boyd, since moving to this arena, Charity Brown with a home run, 8 points. Samford has a record. The women's basketball team is 114 and 41. So almost 3-to-1 ratio. They don't lose a lot here. Rice can't finish. Last year, Samford, in a down year, still finished at 7-4 at home. Armstrong cannot finish.
She's got to finish that one. That was a great looking pass. Charity Brown found her inside. She's got to put that one in. I think she's a little disappointed in herself on that one.
You talk about that phrase, protect the home court. And the Samford women's basketball team has done that. This is the 13th year of this facility. Rice called on a travel.
Well, the way that ball's going in tonight for them, all their shots going in, that I can understand they like this building. They're falling.
Yeah, that's almost a 3-to-1 ratio. 6 minutes remaining, third quarter. Bulldogs out in front. And by the way, if you're watching us at home, you should be. They are not, and I was made perfectly clear of this a long time ago, they are not the Lady Bulldogs. They are the Bulldogs against the Falcons.
For sure.
Very few teams remain with that moniker Lady something or other. There are one or two that I'm aware of, but most of them just go now with Bulldogs and Falcons. Here's the Bulldog bench. Montevallo down by 9. Samford with the basketball.
I think they missed Myers on a little back door off that inbounds play. If they had kept her on her just for a second longer, I think she came open and could have gotten an easy one at the bucket.
Paige Serap, a lot of expected of her. She had 48 threes last year. She started all 30 games. So far, she's shut out. And I think if you're a scorer like Paige and a shooter like her, you feel that pressure. You got to get those first few points of the season in your column. That's her right there.
She needs to see one go in.
Needs to see one go in. Here's a 3 for Syrup, and still can't find the touch. .48 threes last year. 5'6" senior in Syrup.
Raven Omar just checked in. She had a really good first half, had 7 points.
Now, Raven Omar had an outstanding preseason and then the exhibition game against Oglethorpe. And she is blossoming now into a real fine point guard. And I hesitate to say backup point guard. She's really gave the Samford Bulldogs a spark in that first half, mostly in the second quarter. Montevallo looking to run. They're down by 9. Philpott was defended well. And you see the Samford defense really has picked up.
Yep.
Omar wants 3. Philpott wants the rebound.
They've settled a little bit more for the three-pointer instead of getting to the hole in this third quarter for the Bulldogs.
No look pass. And how about that pass? There's that vision that Brown has. She'll get the assist. Points for Myers.
Myers going to have to tell her thank you for that one. Got her a nice, easy layup.
We're in college, so you really can't buy anybody anything except if you go to the CAF and you say, this one's on me. When I was in school, we had the cards, and you had to put them through a machine, and it made a beep. So when someone asked you to buy them lunch or dinner or breakfast, it was, got a beep, got a beep. So in this case, Myers owes a beep to Brown.
Got to finish at the goal, finish at the goal. Myers had a great little lob pass over one defender.
Long 3 from the wing will not go. Philpott, by the way. No points in this game. It'll be immediate timeout with 3:30 remaining in the third quarter. Samford out in front of Montevallo by 9. We'll be back in just a moment.
The langoustine lobster ravioli.
For you, sir?
The original call was for langoustine ravioli. Langoustine is a tiny kind of lobster. Slight shellfish allergy rules that out. Plus my wife ordered the langoustine. I will have chicken tenders and tater tots.
If you're a ref, you way over-explain things. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico.
Sir, we don't have tater tots.
It's what you do.
I will have nachos.
Download the General Shell My Designs app and build your dream today.
We don't only raise our crops here, we raise our families here. It's not easy for Ingalls to deal with small farmers. It's easy for them to call one big supplier, give them a PO and say, fill it, but they buy local. You have that special product that only Ingalls can provide.
Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Everybody's looking forward to something. Maybe it's getting your first job, or getting married, or sending the kids to college, or retiring. Whatever it is, it helps to have a plan. And America's First Financial Advisors can make a plan just for you. Get in touch or stop by today, and let's make a plan for your future.
These are the student athletes. This is where they battle. These are their home. This is where they become Rhodes Scholars and academic All-Americans. This is where titles are forever. This is the Southern Conference.
Montevallo up, or rather Samford up at home against Montevallo, 52-43. Courtney Johnson was hanging around the Montevallo bench to hear what their head coach Gary Van Atta had to say. Courtney?
Yeah, Kurt, Coach Van Atta stressed the need to be aware of Samford's post-to-post screen switch, and also just the ability to stop right here and push and get back on top here.
Well, Montevallo, as we bring Boyd back in, they had a 15-point first quarter lead. Samford was turning the ball over left and right. There's a home run ball by Myers. And then a dramatic second quarter. Things changed, and Samford has not looked back.
Yeah, ball security, they've started off a little slow shooting this quarter, but knocking down that three by Myers is going to help them. But the thing that hasn't changed since the start of that second quarter is the defensive pressure by Samford, and they've been playing great defense since then.
Three to shoot for the Falcons. That's got to go up. A wild shot with the shot clock expiring.
Again, good man-to-man defense for the full shot clock.
Another media timeout with 2:35 remaining. We are in the third quarter. Samford over Montevallo when we come back.
T-Mobile's newest, most powerful signal is here. Experience it with the amazing new iPhone 11. And right now, T-Mobile has the best deal on iPhone. Get 4 lines of unlimited with 4 iPhone 11s included for only $35 a line. All on a signal that goes farther than ever before. That's right. Get 4 unlimited lines and 4 iPhone 11s for $35 a line. Only at T-Mobile.
The Bulldogs lead the Falcons 55-43. We are in the third quarter. Kurt Bloom, Boyd Kaiser, Courtney Johnson, and our fantastic ESPN crew, led by John McAfoose. And crew, long pass. Tanasia Hill for Samford. And one.
Such a strong play out of the timeout there. Set it up, knowing hard man pressure is coming in nice, so she takes a couple steps in, and then straight back toward the goal.
Nice home run pass there for Sarah Myers, the 6-footer and the senior.
Starting to pull away just a little bit from the Falcons. I wonder if they're going to have to get Snodgrass in maybe a little earlier than big coach wants to. I'm sure he's trying to hold her out until the fourth period. But they're having a hard time scoring without her in there.
15 points on the bench for the freshman Marissa Snodgrass. We mentioned a few times Snodgrass, the 6A Player of the Year, a 2-time state champ.
Yeah,
15 points in her college debut.
She had to spend some time on the bench in the second quarter. Now she spent most of the third quarter there with fouls.
Yeah, Samford's lead, remember, they were down by 15, now up by 15. That is a 30-point turnaround. In about 2 quarters, maybe a little bit less than that.
I'm about ready just to declare there were some jitters at the beginning, over anxious, excited. They seem to settle in pretty good.
You're allowed to declare, partner. You've got the resume to make that kind of declaration, so I wouldn't worry about it. It's Raven Omar. Omar last year played in 25 games, scored a total of 54 points, and I think she'll surpass that and then some this year. She has 8 in the season opener.
The Falcons could really use to get Philpott going here. Their leading scorer coming back from last year and only taking 2 shots today. Hasn't scored yet.
We hit the 2-minute mark in the third quarter. That's an excellent finish with the left hand. Jordan Jones.
Went strong to the hole, over that shoulder and got through.
Omar trying to use her speed. Good hands that time by Jones, who got back.
Yep. It's going to be another Samford layup, but she hadn't got a hand on it.
And coming in for the first time is Kristen Carter, redshirt senior for Samford. She'll be wearing number 14. That's Sam Fitzgerald. Hill thought about the three. And they work it inside, and Carter finishes.
Carter came in just at the right time to get that shot.
Yeah, about to say. Lucky I checked in and found Carter. Montevallo trying to shoot back in with a three, won't go.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tough shot because, you know, when you don't shoot it right away, she kind of looked around for other stuff and just, I'm open, I'll shoot it. It's just a little bit harder shot because it's not in rhythm.
15-point lead for Samford. Omar's really been a nice spark. In fact, Carly Coons is using Omar and Brown, her 2-point guards, at the same time on the court. So Brown moves more to a 2.
Yeah, they're letting Brown get a little bit of break of the ball handling responsibilities by putting her at the 2, but keeping her out there.
And as we mentioned, coming back from a couple of knee injuries is Charity. Just nagging injuries, to say the least. A whistle before that Fitzgerald rebound. Well, Fitzgerald picks up the foul, so that's how she got the rebound.
Yeah, didn't get a good box out that time.
Fitzgerald picked up her second foul in about 10 seconds. 5 points offensively, now 2 fouls defensively. Free throws coming up for Montevallo. Samford bench, and now to the free throw line we go. Andrew with her 3rd point of the night. And she's a sophomore from Hoover High. Coach Van Atta almost coming out of his tie.
After the home run pass a little minute ago, they put a couple of defenders back so you can't throw over the top like that.
Samford's going to run out of time in a moment here. That 10-second violation.
Good pressure, good aggressiveness by the Falcons. Again, they need to inch their way back in this game, just like Samford did in the second quarter.
Gary Van Atta, by the way, is missing his wife. His wife is the assistant coach, one of the assistants, I should say. And they have a sick child at home, so Courtney Van Atta is at home with the child.
Well, Philpott's really who they could use to get going.
Third quarter comes to an end. Samford holding on to their lead, 62-49 over the Montevallo Falcons. Our crew will be back after this.
This is the Nest Hub Max from Google. It plays live TV, and you can pause it with magic. Ta-da! Un-ta-da! Ta-doff! Ta-don!
Opening night of college basketball. There's a women's battle right here at the Hanna Center. Samford over Montevallo. Coach Carly Coons making her debut for Samford. And there is her bio. Played at Valdosta State. She's a member of their Hall of Fame. She also coached at her alma mater. And that impressive line right there, 3 20-win seasons. And when Mike Morris stepped down after 17 years, she was the chosen one. And for more on Carly Coons, here's our court reporter, Courtney Johnson. Courtney.
Yeah, Kurt, I got to sit down with Coach Coons before tonight's game, and when I asked her about her coaching style, the first phrase she used right off the bat was fun-loving. She said she likes to keep the energy high and remember that all of this is just a game. She said she believes it's important to keep things in perspective for the girls as she wants the best possible experience for them, and she wants them leaving here not wanting their last game to end. Guys?
Yeah, and her assistants, by the way, Sally Higgins, John Bowler, and Chandler Merkinson. Not necessarily in that order on that bench. And then for Gary Van Atta, I mentioned his wife, Courtney Van Atta, and Matt Durkin. And Courtney is back in Montevallo. Two schools separated by 32 miles, but my partner Boyd Kaiser said it'll take you a little bit more than 32 minutes to get there. And you're right. If you ever traveled Highway 31 south, anywhere between 4 and 6 o'clock, oh, you got yourself a nice little parking lot. Turnover.
Stuck in some traffic.
Omar approaching a career high. That's 11 for Omar in her debut today, with a career high of 14 set late last year.
She's had a really solid game off the bench, and Samford's bench in general has had a good game so far, scoring for the Bulldogs.
Carly Coons said that was the key in her halftime interview, the energy that her second unit brought. Look at the scoreboard there. It has not been this easy for Samford, as the scoreboard might indicate. And we go back to that first quarter again, Boyd, where the Falcons led by 15 points, and they could do no wrong. Rice wants 3.
That'll be a fun first quarter for them to go back and watch on tape.
Absolutely. And I would.
They'll learn a lot from it. It may not be fun seeing yourself turn it over, because a lot of their turnovers really weren't that forced. You look at the stats, and Montevallo only has 4 steals on the day. So, it shows that they don't really all force, just bad passes, a little sloppy. But they've really held it together since that second quarter started in taking control of this game.
Yeah, and I think, looking at that first quarter, you obviously have to hear what to do, and then in the second quarter, here's what not to do. But everybody needs tape. You got to have some tape.
Yeah, not always fun, but very helpful.
Right. Yeah, it's one of the things I talked about with coaches over the last few years, the difference in getting your recruiting stuff and getting your tape on another team. Now, you literally go to websites and you pull down video, and you can go, hundreds of different locations. This is a true story. Probably when you were playing, you know that in order to get tape of another college, you literally sent a VHS in the mail in a brown envelope, and it was a friend of yours from another team, Omar, for the layup. And, if you knew a coach on another team, that guy sent you a VHS, and that's how you recruited the team that you were playing. Unbelievable how things have changed.
Half your audience may not even know what you're talking about when you say VHS. Since we're on a stream right now, yeah, it was a different day. You had to get that VHS, and then you had to go through it and cut another tape for your actual tape that you're going to watch and show to the team.
Right. I spent many nights with that third coach or that manager that was usually in charge. It's usually your grad assistant or that third coach who was in charge of getting that tape, mailing it, then you put it into that thing, that ancient thing called the VHS, video recorder. Well, VCR, rather.
When we're on a road trip, you sometimes had to bring the VCR with you, too.
Yes.
So you could watch film in a hotel.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I remember talking to a coach last year, and this coach had a foreign player, and I said, well, how on earth did you didn't go all the way to whether it was Saudi Arabia or wherever it was? And she said, no. She goes, I watched it on video. I watched her games on stream. And I'm like, what? So there's not a game of basketball that can't be captured literally all over the world.
Well, you just talk about the services you have nowadays. I had a 6th grader playing Little League football, and they had a video coordinator online system where they could break down plays. It's not even a school team.
Nice pass, Omar. Hill almost traveled.
Snodgrass is back in the game with 3 fouls. She's got to be careful not to get that next one. She just needs to get some minutes now.
Montevallo with 5 points. Unfortunately, now, Boyd, it might be a little late with 7 minutes remaining. Samford now opening up a 17-point sizable lead. And a very good learning lesson for the freshman Snodgrass. Look, she got the start tonight in her first college game. And she hasn't missed a shot, am I right? 5 for 5?
She missed one.
Oh,
it was a 40-footer at the end of the first quarter.
There you go.
So, again, that's another thing. So, if she's going to be your best shooter, coach is going to have to work on plays and getting her more open shots, you know.
And also, I wouldn't have taken that shot.
Well, hey, the way she was shooting then, she just thought it was going to go in.
Yeah, true. Well, there's some good contact there. Rice could have been called for an offensive, was not.
You know, Samford's been pretty balanced on offense today with their scoring. Myers got 15, Omar's got 11, but they have a lot with 7, 8 points, spreading it around a little bit.
Now you're looking at the ponytail of Molly McFadden, one of the officials, along with Ed Novak and Steve Edwards.
I guess Charity Brown got her rest from the point, so now she's going to run point and let Omar go to the 2.
Montevallo on the rebound, and here is Snodgrass. Deadly from outside, as we have seen. Passes up, gives it up to Ward, and Ward's 3 is too strong, but then Snodgrass works her way in for the rebound, and Snodgrass picks up the assist.
Probably smallest one on the court, just got that offensive rebound.
And Cheyenne Flack with a 2-pointer. Samford up by 13 at home, first game of the season. And we'll be back as you're watching Samford and Montevallo right here on ESPN.
This is the Nest Hub Max from Google. It plays live TV, and you can pause it with magic. Ta-da! Un-ta-da! Ta-doff! Ta-don!
We have got 6:08 remaining in our fourth quarter. Samford out in front of U of M, University of Montevallo, liberal arts school that, again, is very close geographically to Samford. Montevallo School is known for theater, education, and remember former Texas Ranger outfielder Rusty Greer. Rusty Greer played his college ball at Montevallo. You and I were talking, Boyd, prior to the game with Olivia Crozier, a nursing student, and certainly one of the best programs in the Southeast, Samford University. Approaching 6 minutes left to go. 14-point lead for Samford. They were down by 15. Sarah Myers gets fouled, and that's not nothing new for today.
Yeah, she's been a handful for the Falcons today as the grad transfer. You know, she's got 15 points, 6 rebounds. That's the 8th foul she's drawn from the Falcons when she's going to the goal, getting rebounds, being active out there.
We have a new stat portal, and there's a column that shows us how many fouls someone has drawn. I like that.
I do too.
Very important stat. Oh, blocking foul. So in this case, you would say foul drawn by Syrup.
And again, it's because she's being aggressive going to the hole.
Trip on Paige Ward. LePage hasn't scored yet. She'll have a chance at the line.
Yeah, this this will always be a good place soon. You haven't been able to get one to go in yet. Go get a free throw.
She scored 17 in the meeting between these two teams last year. Had 17 points, 3 rebounds. Well, unfortunately,
she thought she was going to get the easy one.
She will not.
Not quite
have
in the
a
bonus
freebie,
yet.
yeah. So Syrup will stay with 0 points at the moment. I'm not sure Carly Coons cares about who has how many, as long as you have one more than the opposition when the horn goes off. Fitzgerald draws a foul.
You know, you want people finding ways to make an impact even when they're not scoring. You know, with your defense, with your passing, like she just did there, being aggressive with the goal, getting fouled a minute ago. I mean, there's ways you can impact the game outside of just scoring. But, you know, as a player, it always feels nice to see that one go through the bucket the first time.
Samantha Fitzgerald has 6. So she's just above her average from last year. Sam averaged 5 points per game last season. And she's now at 7 off the bench.
And Samford over 90% from the free throw line in this game.
That's right.
21 of 23.
I believe if we broke it down, it would be they've missed 1 in each half.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I've had a chance to ask you your thoughts on quarters versus halves. Since we went to quarters 3 years ago for the women's game, everything really seems to be speeding up. We've talked about, Boyd, that at some point the men will probably join the ladies and go into quarters. But what are your thoughts?
Well, if you look around the world of basketball in general,
it's quarters.
There's only one place that doesn't do quarters,
and
that's men's college basketball.
Yeah.
And again, with as many media timeouts as you're getting anyway, it's almost like you got a quarter each half because you're getting that media timeout every 12 minutes. I think the quarters just gives you that built-in break. And it makes it a little easier. It seems like it flows a little better.
If you have a game that doesn't have a lot of fouls, you can be in and out of an arena in less than 2 hours.
Yeah. I like the quarter system from your little rec league up to the NBA. International play, you know, college is the only one that's been doing that. They've been doing it a long time, though.
Yeah, I wonder if it's on the table at all to make that kind of change.
You know, most sports, they'll do anything to speed the game up just a little bit,
right,
you know.
Right.
So I would assume it's been discussed.
5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Samford with a 71-56 lead. So Samford scored 80-plus in the exhibition game. Now in a game that counts for the Bulldogs. They're headed towards 80 again. That's battle. And loses.
Well, and this will be 80 potentially after only getting 12 in the first.
That's right.
So, again, really better pace after the first quarter.
Samantha Fitzgerald on your TV from Somerset, Kentucky. Finishing her senior year. And now Snodgrass. And a shot of midcourt, trying to decide where the possession arrow is going. And team foul number 5.
They'll get some free throws now.
Syrup is saying they owe me some free throws.
She wants them for sure.
Right. Instead, this will be Jordan Jones, 5'9" sophomore, 58 points scored last year in 23 games. Fitzgerald has had a very good game on the boards for Samford. Brown pumps it up.
Jerry Brown hadn't scored a ton today, but she's had a really solid game herself with 8 assists, 8 points, 5 assists, 8 points, 8 rebounds. So she made an impact out there without scoring a lot today.
Snodgrass with a rare miss.
Finally missed her first legit one.
I didn't have a chance to ask Carly Coons and the Samford staff if Snodgrass was on the Samford radar, but you know, again, you got a brand new coach, and at the same time, when you got Brown and Omar, I would imagine the previous administration thought that they had enough at the point guard.
Well, they also had one other issue. I actually talked to her about that a little bit, coming in, new coach, recruiting too, but you know, the team has 8 seniors this year. They only brought in really one new player from last year, and it was a grad transfer in Myers. So, you know, they didn't have that many options to even have spots to fill this year. Now, next year, they're going to have plenty.
But in the position that Snodgrass plays, she would have had to most likely sit behind, you know, maybe 2. I mean, it depends on her play, but
yep.
But I get where you're going. There'll be a lot of jobs up for sale next year. I mean, a lot of, you know.
She's going to have a lot of positions to fill.
8 of them is turning over more than half your roster.
Well, and again, it'll be interesting, too, because it's a new style. You know, these players were mostly recruited for a different style, so she'll have a chance next time bringing half a new team, all for her style.
Just when I thought I had a good grip on my scorecard and, you know, didn't have to make a whole lot of changes, there's a wing 3 for Cheyenne Black.
Black's had a solid day now, too. That puts her as the scoring leader now, 16 points for the Falcons. And she's 7 for 9 from the field. So, you know, not a lot of shots to get to her 16 points.
Black only a sophomore. Good debut for her. College basketball's opening night across America. We've got the women's game right here at the Hanna Center. Samford leading 72-59. Montevallo Falcons will play in the Gulf South D2. And regardless of the sport, that's a very, very good D2 conference athletically. That'll be a 3 if it goes. Too strong. And Boyd Kaiser mentioned earlier, one of the oddities was when Samford head coach Carly Kuntz was both playing and coaching. She played and coached in the Gulf South, and her first game ever as the Samford head coach is against the conference in which she played and coached. Can't get away from the Gulf South.
Made her scouting a little bit easier for this game because they returned 12 players from the team she played last year.
Three minutes remaining. The leaner. That'll draw a foul. Philpott, remarkably, the leading scorer from last year, has not scored today. She's shut out so far. Nautica Philpott, 5'6" junior from Auburn, Alabama.
And hasn't been super involved. You know, she was their leading assist person last year too, and she's been off the ball a lot. One of the first really aggressive moves she's made to the goal to draw that foul.
McFadden and Kuntz discussing that last call. Philpott's first point comes from the free throw line. A certain calmness about Sarah Myers when she's on the court. Again, playing where she did play for 3 years at Maryland. There she is finishing. Myers with 17 to lead the way.
Yeah, again, she'll be so helpful for this team because you can post, you can go outside, she can shoot, she can drive, she can move her feet. She guarded the point guard for a while today. She can do a little bit of everything for the team. Be very flexible.
Blocked by Myers, so she can D up a little bit when she needs to. Samford with the turnover, then a foul that hurts Omar. Foul by Snodgrass. There is a very good chance, you mentioned this, Omar, relatively young, Snodgrass only a freshman, somewhere they have played travel ball in the summer, either with or against each other, two of the finer point guards in the area. Omar has 11 in the game. Following up again on a strong preseason and a strong exhibition a couple nights ago against Oglethorpe. She has 12 points in this game, and her career high is 14.
And what a help to be able to bring that kind of production off your bench. You know, it's not your starters. But, your starters get in foul trouble, anything going on, you can bring some off the bench that can produce like this. So it'll be a big help for the Bulldogs this year.
And you know, the free throw excellence continues for the Bulldogs as well.
I know a lot of men's teams out there will take this free throw percentage. They'll win a lot of games. Good shooters on this Bulldog team here.
Travel called on McLeod. Defense was applied by Carter.
Yeah, good active hands when the big put it down inside, trying to get to the bucket, getting their hands reaching in there.
Samford 4 away from that 80-point mark. They don't get to 80 very often, or at least they hadn't in the past. That'll bring them within 1 of 80.
She shot that from the newly marked men's three-point line.
Newly minted.
That was good from deep.
Let me help you. Newly minted.
Newly minted.
Minted, yes. It's a broadcaster's term. I was about to say, Samford's offense over the last couple decades, they don't rely on that 80-point game. They rely on holding the opponent in the 40s and low 50s.
Yeah, it's been a fun style today. Again, I'll say since the first quarter. I don't think they're going to like this on the first, but.
Samford last year averaged 58 points, and they averaged giving up 65. 64 seconds remaining. And in this case, it does look like a Bulldog is going to be able to beat a Falcon.
Yeah, Samford's definitely done enough to win this. You know, the Falcons got a lot they can build on too, though. I mean,
I like their effort, and I do like that first quarter a lot by Montevallo. And
scrappy, active defense. You know, they're going to have to work on the turnovers also. They didn't do it in the first. They did it after that a little bit more, so they got to be strong with the ball, get more shots up, because the percentage isn't that bad from what they're shooting. It's protecting the ball to get more shots.
Raven Omar will head to the free throw line. She has a chance to push the Bulldogs to 80. And now for Omar, if she hits this free throw, she will set a career high opening night of 2019-2020. No jinx.
The way she's looked tonight, this may not be her career high for long.
Yeah.
She's being very productive.
Could last about a week. So down by 15 in the first quarter, Samford is now up by 21. Big turnaround, a 3 for the Falcons. And then Carter seals the rebound with 24 seconds to go. Samford bench, they wanted Fitzgerald to...
Coach was fine running some clock. The bench wanted
fire up a 3.
Launch it.
Come on, girls. 21-point lead. 8 to go. Shot clock is off. I think we've got our final score. I'm putting it down, 81-60. And there is the final horn and whistle. So the Carly Coombs era begins with a 21-point win. Meanwhile, for Montevallo, they had a strong first quarter, but couldn't sustain, that momentum. Final score, 81-60. Samford with their first win of the year in their first game. Remember, this is a place where the Bulldogs continue to play well. This is their 115th win, only 41 losses at the Hanna Center. We'll give Courtney Johnson a moment to get in position.
Again, just quite a response from the Samford team that comes out that cold, that kind of out of sync, turning it over to turn it around that much in those last 3 quarters was very good to see for their part.
And you think, and you say the defense, obviously the intensity and the movements.
I think the defense totally changed it because they were able to get turnovers to turn those into easy points, and from there the whole half-court offense changed.
And I agree with what Coach Coons had to say. She said, I feel a little bit, she said, some of my players were a little nervous out of the get-go here, and it showed. You got about 10 minutes of nerves, and then everybody settled down, and Samford gets the win on their home court. 81-60 is the final as the Bulldogs put up an 80-plus point game in their first game of the season. And in just a moment, we'll hear from Carly Coons along with Courtney Johnson. CJ, talk with the winning head coach.
Coach, congratulations, win number 1 under your belt. How does it feel?
It feels awesome. I mean, you know, I told the team before the game that we don't want to be our best now. We want to be our best in February. So we just got to learn and get better every day. And that team played hard. They came out and they kind of punched us in the mouth. But I think we fought back, kind of settled in a little bit, and really proud of our effort overall.
You go on the road this weekend to Kennesaw State. What's the goal for that trip?
I think the same thing, just to learn and get better, to prepare, to lock into the little things and the details that we're asking them to do every day in practice, and yeah, just continue to get better and have fun on our first road trip together.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, for my broadcast partner tonight, Boyd Kaiser, this is Kurt Bloom saying so long from the Hanna Center in Homewood, Alabama, Samford University. Also, by the way, thanks to Courtney Johnson doing a great job on the sidelines. Final score tonight, Samford 81, Montevallo 60. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.